Welcome back. This is Mrs. Rubright with Algebra 1 Honors. Today's lesson is 2.5, solving inequalities with variables on both sides. All right, so let's look at what we've got here. Using properties to justify solutions. Find the solution set, justify each step, and graph your solution. So the first thing they did is they gave us the initial problem. We can see from here to here, all they did was they distributed the 3. So 3 times 2x is 6x. 3 times negative 3 is 9. They brought down the inequality symbol, brought down the x and the 1. So they used the distributive property. All right, so then next, it looks like they subtracted x from both sides. So that would be the subtraction property of equality. Of inequality, right? Because it's not an equal sign. 6x minus x is 5x. Minus 9 is less than or equal to 1. We just simplified it. Combined like terms, right? So now we're going to add 9 to both sides. That is the addition property of inequality. So they would have had 1 plus the 9, right? So that is the addition property of inequality, POI. I'm just going to abbreviate that. So I'm left with 5x is less than or equal to 10. I simplified it. Now I'm going to divide by 5 on both sides. Division, property of inequality. And then I'm going to get x is less than or equal to 2 by simplifying that. So my solution set, x such that x is less than or equal to 2. So a student asked me yesterday, what if we were solving for p? How would I do the solution set? You would do p such that p is less than or equal to 2. So whatever the variable is, use that letter in the solution set. So we need a closed dot on the 2 because it does include the point 2. And using our arrow trick, we can see that it shades this way. Right? Our arrow trick, the arrow goes that way. Why is the distributive property applied first in the solution? Because of order of operations, right? PEMDAS, parentheses, exponents, multiplication or division from left to right, addition or subtraction from left to right. If we divided by 3, then this would have been uglier, and we would have had more steps, right? So it was easiest to just distribute that out and then deal with it. We used the distributive property to eliminate the parentheses. Could the properties have been applied in a different order other than shown above? If so, would this make finding the solution easier or more difficult? Explain. So yeah, we could have done the division property of inequality first, but then it would have made it definitely more difficult to solve. Okay? We could have used the division. So yes, we could have used the division property of inequality first, but it would have made the equation more difficult to solve. How would the solution change if the simplified coefficient of x were negative? The inequality symbol would have flipped, right? The inequality symbol would have flipped. Find the solution set. Justify each step and graph your solution. So the first thing we do is we write the problem, right, because it's given. All right, now, what am I going to do first? I'm going to add 3x to both sides. So I'd have 21x plus 3x plus 28 is less than 10 minus 3x plus 3x. Addition, property of inequality. So I'd have 24x plus 28 is less than 10. Simplify. Could I have gone from the first line to the third line and just wrote addition, property of inequality next to it? Yes. I don't have to show this work. I could just do it, get to here, and write addition, property of equality. So you could have literally eliminated that line and the simplify. You could have gone straight to here and wrote addition, property of inequality. Okay? So you're going to subtract 28 on both sides. I can show it, or I can just get to the next part. Do you guys want the 2 steps, or do you want me to simplify it into one thing? Do 1 step or 2 steps? Do you want me to show the in-between step? Just one? All right, so if I subtract 28 on both sides, I have 24x is less than negative 18. And I did subtraction, property of equality. Property of inequality. We're dealing with inequalities. Now I divide by 24 on both sides. So I'd have x is less than negative 18 over 24. Division, property of inequality. 6 goes into 18 3 times, and 6 goes in there 4 times. X is less than negative 3/4. Simplify, because I'm just reducing, right? Solution set, x such that x is less than negative 3/4. Okay, so negative 3/4, open dot, 3/4 of the way to the negative 1, between the 0 and the negative 1. Arrow trick says I'm going this way. Okay, your choice, guys. Distribute or get rid of the fraction. Distribute. Negative 1/3 x minus 2/3 is greater than or equal to 7x plus 3. And that was the distributive property. How about I get rid of the fractions now? You guys cool with that? I'm going to multiply both sides by 3. So I'd have negative x minus 2 is greater than or equal to 21x plus 9. Multiplication, property of inequality. All I did is I multiplied both sides by 3, right? Because if I multiply by 3, it's gone, gone. 7 times 3 is 21, 3 times 3 is 9. Right? Multiply everything by 3 to get rid of those bottoms, those denominators. Because then it's easier, right? So now I'm going to subtract x from, or actually I guess I'll move this way. So I'm going to subtract 21x from both sides. I'd have negative 22x minus 2 is greater than or equal to 9. Subtraction, property of inequality. Add 2 to both sides. Addition, property of inequality. Divide by negative 22 on both sides. Flip your sign because you're dividing by a negative. Negative 1/2. Division, property of inequality. X such that x is less than or equal to negative 1/2. Negative 1/2. Close dot. Shaded this way. Closed dot. Try number 3 on your own, and then we will go over it. So I'm going to give you guys a couple minutes to try that. First thing we're going to do is distribute. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times negative 3x is negative 6x. Is less than 4x minus 2. That was the distributive property. Then I'm going to subtract 4x from both sides. Subtraction property of inequality. I'm going to subtract 8 from both sides. And that would be the subtraction property of inequality. Now I'm going to divide by negative 10 on both sides, which flips my sign. Negative 10 divided by negative 10 is 1, positive 1. And that was the division property of inequality. So my solution set, x such that x is greater than or equal to 1. Close dot on 1. Shaded to the right. The or equal to tells you close dot, and the arrow trick says it shades to the right. Any questions? All right, so your homework on this is going to be workbook pages 97 and 98. I hope you guys have a great day. Like and subscribe.